no! Quickly! Spit on her! What? You didn't even hesitate? Don't stop! Keep spitting on her! Why do you smell like saliva?
Eternights tries to incorporate Persona dating sim elements into the core gameplay, though there's a lot of weird, borderline fetish content that it could have gone without. That's just fucking weird. I don't even know what that's referencing, and I know it's something weird. Anywho, shortly after taking down the wall, we celebrate our accomplishment and choose a name for our group. Since the two chuckleheads are arguing over what the team name should be, like An and Ryuji from Persona 5, it's up to us to break the tie. I was trying to type in one of their suggestions, but not only is there not enough space for either of them, apparently the spacebar also acts as the enter key, because our new team name is The.
Oh my god, he's an idiot!
They don't even ask you for confirmation. Yeesh. Later on, Chani spray paints it on the train, so now The is official. With all the commotion we made, it attracts the attention of a scientist named Sia, who begs to join us on our mission to save the world.
Don't you want science in your corner? It put humanity on the moon. It will save us from the jaws of Armageddon.
After an executive decision, Sia joins our team, and shortly afterwards we meet another survivor named Min, who shares the same voice actor as Haru from Persona 5.
Not going to let anyone else get hurt! Why is it that I get a shiver of excitement whenever the shadows plead for their lives?
The game starts giving us moral dilemmas about killing the monsters, as they were once human beings like you and I. Though, interestingly enough, there isn't an option for a pacifist run, as we're boxed in like a fish every time new enemies spawn in and are forced to fight them. Neglecting to include some sort of non-violent option was a huge missed opportunity. Anyway, with 3 girls on our team, you would think at least one of them would be interested in Chani. But alas, the world continues to revolve around he with the glow stick for an arm. Sia's first and only love is science, however Min seems to quickly fall for us. And on us.
I'm so sorry! I can't believe I touched her! I'm so sorry! I'm not a pervert!
Not even Tokyo Mirage sessions went for a gag this crude. Something I forgot to mention before is that each female party member has her own elemental skill. No love for Chani though, he's cursed to remain as the party's useless butt monkey.
The Wi-Fi is back on!
Plop, 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 plop! Get pregnant! Get pregnant! Get pregnant! Get pregnant!
Assuming they're on the front lines, you can choose between each girl's elemental power when you perform your special attack. Yuna has ice, Sia has fire, and Min has electricity. Every enemy is weak to a certain elemental, and bosses tend to be immune to everything except their weakness. Understanding the Pokemon type matchup is crucial for saving time in later boss fights. And speaking of fights, our newest recruit Min has some serious self-confidence issues and often fights with herself over the most basic things.
Wait, did I just help my romantic rivals?
Her hang-ups come from her former life as a runner. She was originally part of another team, but once the apocalypse happened, she chose her own life over those of her teammates. Survivor's guilt has haunted her ever since. After witnessing our outwardly calm demeanor, she asks us to act as her coach, and we initially accept, but unfortunately we have our own self-doubts, and they haunt us every step of the way.
You were asked to be a coach and lab partner? Do you have any experience in those things? What if you make a fool of yourself? What if you give bad advice to Min? What if you mess up Sia's research?
We progress through the dungeon, reenact that one stupid level from Mega Man X7, and reach the end, where the monster we were chasing merges with the border wall. Well then, Sia hatches a plan to destroy the monster and the wall along with it. If we use the train as a battering ram, then surely the impact will be enough to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, right? But if it goes wrong, we'll lose yet another train. Min steps up to the plate and gets strapped to the front of the train to act as the tip of the spear. But much like Guam is to the US, the tip of the spear will be the first thing to get bloody when things go south. Luckily, we have a clear shot at the wall, and Min's dead colleagues help her get over her inner turmoil. so we continue onwards and get rear-ended by some New York driver. I'm just kidding. New York drivers are aggressive, but the last thing they'll ever do to you is bump into you. All crashes involve Pennsylvania drivers. Anyway, our boy Johan apologizes for the rough intro and invites us into his abode for some coffee.
The classic, superior flavor of freshly ground coffee.
Did you visit any other dreams too? I'd like to know that as well.
How delightfully revealing.
Oh, did I mention we've already started his social link? Yeah, the plot is so rushed at this point that in order for Johan to have a full 7 rank ups, his arc starts before he's even introduced.
Now, if you see a questionable, possibly criminal memory, keep in mind that I'm fun and cool.
And much like Chani, Johan is completely useless in battle. He has no elemental skills, and no weapons either. Yep, it's one of those games. All male characters that aren't the protag are functionally useless, so you'll always find yourself with an entire party consisting of all girls. Even though Tokyo Mirage Sessions kinda fell into that trap, at least they had useful male party members with powerful skills that could carry you to the endgame. Here in Eternites, they're little more than side decorations.
Dude, can we just take a moment and digest all of this?
Just thinking about the stark contrast makes me want to play TMS again, and that's not even my favorite Shin Megami Tensei game. Huh, I got off track. And speaking of track, the train! Now that Johan has joined the party, we can freely explore the whole train. In the main car we have Min, Yuna, and Chani. In the next car up we have Sia's lab. And in the final car we have Johan's coffee shop.
Well, in this train, we use coffee grinders and hot water.
After a few days of travel, we arrive at our final destination, Kafka Lab. The game wants you to believe that the lab is the origin of the Eternites disease, but I want to keep my channel, so I'll say it all came from a bat. However, the Kafka Lab is where the big bad is being housed, so we need to break and enter. Drone Lady gives us our final deadline, and we start preparing for battle. Unfortunately, being in the endgame, the game wants you to max out all of your stats in order to complete the social links with your party members.
Oh, you're here to stare at me in silence? I respect that.
But given the tight deadline, it's near impossible to complete them all before time runs out. Luckily, our bud Chani is here to help us increase our stats so we can at least complete one route. We reach the end of Yuna's social link and get peer pressured into some sort of relationship that we may or may not want.
Just, I need one more thing. Can you guess what that is? What I need? So... You're such a tease.
I mean, I was kinda leaning towards Min, but Yuna makes it really hard to say no. Accepting her advances will lock us out of Sia and Min's romance routes, unless you're a scumbag. But either way, Sia doesn't seem to be too interested in us, and Min pulls a Yoshizawa and makes it clear that she's only confessing to get the pain off her chest.
You inspire me. And that's why I like you a lot. I like you a lot. You don't have to feel the same way. Things won't change if you don't. I just needed to tell you.
We let her down easy, and thankfully, it's like nothing ever happened.
It's okay.
In this particular playthrough, I ran out of time before I could complete Johan's social link, but I would imagine he'd have some romanceable option as well. We reached the end of Kafka Labs, defeat the lady who chopped our arm off, and retrieve the MacGuffin.
Well done. We retrieved the stone and the totem. Now it's up to me to prepare the totem ritual.
What is a totem ritual?
Something that will reset the stone to its original state.
Drone Lady says the world is effectively saved, and Johan needs some time to reverse the damage. We get some well-deserved rest.
No! Don't look over there.
Or not. and then enter a dream state where we're asked which of the three girls is our most beloved. Obviously something terrible is going to happen to whoever we choose, but unfortunately I can't find it in me to lie, and so I say Yuna is the one. So of course she gets kidnapped.
Yuna is missing!
The end! Actually, there's a bit more that happens afterwards, but I have to give a warning. Up until now, I've been deliberately light on the details, but this next section is spoiler heavy, so if you want to play Eternights for yourself, then just end the video here. Okay, sit and watch crowd represent. We give the big bad a walloping of a lifetime, but plot armor makes her slough off our attacks. Turns out Yuna has fused with Umbra, the big bad.
Umbra's energy patterns have changed. Of course. She merged with a child of Lux. That must be why Umbra took Yuna. Maybe she's still in there, inside Umbra. You need to find a way to separate them.
And the result is, she's now invincible. Umbra taunts us, but using the power of bonds, we reach out to the only girl who we've ever loved and try to pull her out of Umbra.
You're wrong.
I need you too.
Where did that come from?
You shouldn't have come.
However, that proves to be impossible, as Yuna informs us that in order to defeat Umbra, she needs to pass away. We're given one final QuickTime event, but we're meant to fail it, as the game won't progress until we let go. Unless there's a secret ending where you hold her hand for 8 hours, but I'm sure that would crash Paper Mario.
Please. I have to go.
I'm not crying. You are. Yuna logs off and we wake up with our old arm back. Did we just enter a great reset? Everything is seemingly back to normal, but to our protagonist, a world without Yuna is a world without meaning. We leave our apartment, the credits roll, and we're shown all the Polaroid pictures that we've taken throughout our adventure. Then, the animation style changes and a scene plays out that feels reminiscent of the ending of More Than a Married Couple. So was that a dream, or is this reality? There's an additional scene that you can access with a QR reader, but watching it made me feel empty inside. Nothing can ever fill the void created by the loss of Yuna.
Hajime my dear friend. You're always welcome here, so feel at home.
You know what? Never mind. I think I'm gonna be okay.
Yuna, don't you have a happier song?
Okay. How about this one?